Ever wonder how secure your online data is from cyber threats? In today's digital age where our lives are increasingly intertwined with the internet, this question becomes more relevant than ever before. Our personal information, financial data, even our identities are at risk. The invisible threat, the silent predator lurking in the shadows of the World Wide Web, is cybercrime. Cyber threats come in many shapes and forms. From the common phishing scams that trick you into giving away sensitive information, the malware that infects your devices without your knowledge, to the ransomware attacks that hold your data hostage, the landscape of cybercrime is vast and ever-evolving. But it's not just individuals who are at risk. Businesses, government agencies, even entire nations can fall victim to these invisible threats. Cybercrime is no longer a matter of if, but rather a matter of when. The increasing complexity of these threats makes it all the more essential for us to understand and navigate the landscape of cybersecurity. This brings us to the importance of cybersecurity technologies. These are the virtual shields and swords in our battle against cyber threats. They scan, detect, and protect us from the myriad dangers lurking in the digital world. From antivirus software to firewalls, from encryption tools to intrusion detection systems, these technologies are our first line of defense against the invisible threat. But understanding these technologies is not just about knowing what they do. We also need to understand how they work, how they analyze and interpret the threats, and most importantly, how to respond to the output they provide. Without this understanding, we run the risk of misinterpreting the data, overlooking critical threats, or worse, responding inappropriately and exacerbating the situation. In the end, knowledge is power. The more we understand about these technologies, the better equipped we are to protect ourselves and our data from the invisible threat. But how do these cybersecurity technologies work? Let's dive into that next. Cybersecurity technologies, they're not as complex as you might think. Let's imagine the internet as a bustling city. The buildings are servers, and the people are data packets, moving about, carrying out their tasks. Now, in any city, we need security to keep things running smoothly. In our digital city, that's where cybersecurity technologies come into play. First up, we have firewalls. Firewalls are like the city walls or checkpoints. They control the traffic, letting in the good and keeping out the bad. They do this by examining data packets and checking them against a set of security rules. If a packet doesn't comply, it's turned away at the gate. Next, we have intrusion detection systems, or IDS. Think of these as our city's surveillance cameras. They monitor the city, looking for suspicious activity. If they see something out of the ordinary, they sound the alarm. In the digital world, an IDS constantly scans for patterns typical of cyber attacks. When it spots something, it alerts the system administrators. Then we have antivirus software. This is our city's health department, working to prevent and cure diseases. Antivirus software scans files for known viruses and other malware. If it finds something, it isolates and eliminates the threat, keeping the system healthy. These technologies work together like a well-oiled machine, each performing its own task, but all aimed at one goal: protecting the system from cyber threats. They are the sentinels, the watchers on the wall, tirelessly working to keep the digital city safe and secure. But like any security system, they're not foolproof. That's why understanding them is so crucial. We need to know what they can do, how they do it, and most importantly, what they're telling us. Because it's not enough to simply have these technologies in place. We need to understand their output, interpret the data they provide, and use that information to bolster our defenses. Now that we've got a grip on what these technologies are, let's look at how we can interpret their output. Interpreting the output from these technologies is like solving a jigsaw puzzle. Just as every piece of a puzzle holds a clue to the larger picture, every bit of data, every log, every alert that cybersecurity technologies generate is a piece in the grand puzzle of your network security. Decoding these outputs is far from a simple task. It requires a keen eye, a deep understanding of your network, and a thorough knowledge of potential threats. It's about looking for patterns, anomalies, and signs of suspicious activity in the sea of information that cybersecurity technologies provide. Let's imagine the output as a city map, where each data point is a building. Some buildings are tall and eye-catching. These could be significant events or alerts. Others are smaller, blending into the cityscape. These could be routine logs or low-level activities. Just like a city planner, your job is to interpret this landscape, to understand which buildings are essential, which may pose a risk, and which are just part of the everyday hustle and bustle. It's important to remember that not all threats will be obvious. Some may be subtle, hidden under layers of seemingly normal activity. This is where understanding the output becomes crucial. It's like knowing the difference between a harmless puddle and a hidden sinkhole on our city map. But how do you gain this understanding? It's a combination of knowledge, experience, and the right tools. Knowledge of your network and potential threats helps you identify what to look for. Experience gives you the intuition to spot anomalies. And the right tools can help filter, sort, and analyze the output, making it easier to interpret. In essence, decoding the output from cybersecurity technologies is a critical skill. It's the first line of defense in identifying potential threats, and it's the basis for all subsequent response strategies. Remember, understanding the output is only the first step. What's crucial is how you respond to it. Just like the city planner, who needs to take action based on their understanding of the city map, you need to be ready to respond effectively to the threats you've identified. But we'll dive into that in the next scene. Stay tuned. So, you've detected a potential threat. What next? Well, your journey doesn't end at detection. It's only just begun. Now you need to respond to this potential threat, and your response needs to be both timely and effective. This is where strategic planning comes into play. Let's start with the first strategy: containment. Think of containment as putting up a temporary barricade. It's about minimizing the damage while you figure out your next move. It involves isolating the affected system to prevent the threat from spreading to other parts of your network. Next, we have eradication. This is the process of eliminating the threat from your system entirely. It could involve deleting malicious files or blocking the IP addresses associated with the threat. Eradication is all about ensuring that the threat can't cause any more harm. Now, on to recovery. Once you've contained and eradicated the threat, it's time to restore your system to its normal operations. This could involve reinstalling software, restoring data from backups, or even replacing entire systems if necessary. Recovery is about getting back to business as usual. Then we have the process of learning from the incident. This involves conducting a thorough analysis of the event. What was the source of the threat? How did it infiltrate your system? And most importantly, how can you prevent it from happening again? This is the stage where you can turn a negative experience into a positive learning opportunity. Finally, there's communication. This is an often overlooked but crucial part of any response strategy. Informing your stakeholders about the incident, the actions you've taken, and the steps you're implementing to prevent future occurrences builds trust and confidence. Remember, the goal here isn't just to react to threats, but to proactively build a robust security posture. It's about learning from each incident, improving your strategies, and strengthening your defenses. So, to wrap up, an effective response strategy is like a well-rehearsed dance. It involves a series of steps: containment, eradication, recovery, learning, and communication, all performed in harmony and with precision. Responding effectively to threats is key to maintaining your online security. Let's quickly run through what we've covered today. We've embarked on a fascinating journey into the world of cybersecurity technologies. These are not just abstract concepts or mere tools, but are bulwarks against the invisible threats lurking in the digital landscape. We've seen how these technologies serve as our sentinels, tirelessly scanning and intercepting threats while we navigate the internet. We've delved into the varied types of cybersecurity technologies, each with its own unique approach to securing our digital lives. We've discussed the importance of firewalls, designed to block unauthorized access while permitting outward communication. Then we turned our attention to intrusion detection systems, or IDS, that monitor network traffic for suspicious activity. We've also talked about anti-malware software, which is our first line of defense against harmful software infiltrating our systems. But it's not enough to just have these technologies in place. We've emphasized the importance of understanding their outputs. We've decoded the complex jargon and intricate details that these technologies present us with. We've seen how each alert, each log, each report is a piece of the puzzle, contributing to an overall understanding of our digital security landscape. From there, we've moved on to discuss effective response strategies. We've learned how to take decisive action based on the outputs of these technologies, how to respond to potential threats, and how to prevent them from escalating. We've seen that an effective response is not just about reacting to threats, but also about proactively strengthening our defenses, learning from past incidents, and staying one step ahead of potential threats. In essence, we've learned that these cybersecurity technologies are our digital bodyguards, but like any bodyguard, they can only do their job effectively if we understand their signals and know how to respond appropriately. Remember, understanding and interpreting the output from these technologies is crucial to maintaining your online security. Stay safe out there.